person. Nice! Gotcha! Thank you! You're welcome! Don't scare babies!
He's a menace! Too soft. He's a low-energy menace! Too easy. Maybe he's a weak-minded... Oh!
Hey, Jonah! He's out! Very festive!
Menace! A feckless, treacherous, unhinged...
Spider-Man Miles Morales was released in 2020 on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 and is now on PC in 2022, finally. It follows the story of Miles Morales, after the events of the first Spider-Man game, where Peter Parker has been training him after he got bitten by the spider. However, Peter Parker this time round is being dragged away by Mary Jane to Europe, and with Peter away in another country, Miles is left to Spider-Man it solo in New York City around Christmas time for the first time ever. It's also at this time that Miles has to deal with problems of the Tinkerer kind, and the story is very personal. And on the story, it's actually pretty good, and Miles is excellent. He is a great character. I always liked him in the comics, and playing as him is awesome. The way he fights, moves, swings, comes across like someone who's just got their powers and isn't all that confident, yet having a great amount of fun with it, especially the way he swings. It's different from Peter's. Obviously they both web swing, but because Peter's been doing it a lot longer, Peter's a lot more fluid in the terms of knowing what he wants to do in the air, whilst Miles, although looks like he's flailing about and whatnot, goes into like a backwards dive or just like waves his arms and legs in the air. It's pretty cool. Now, because Miles was bitten by a different spider, he has a different set of powers involving bioelectricity, turning invisible. Whereas the story progresses, you'll unlock more powers that can be used in combat and for like using the bioelectricity to activate generators and the such, and creating web lines to carry electricity. So that adds to a bit of differentiation between him and Peter. All the side characters are also pretty interesting, especially his best friend Ganke, who becomes his guy in the chair. And his uncle is also in the game. Now, I'm not going to give nothing away for those that don't know, but if you know, you know. And again, his uncle is pretty cool. Just like with the first Spider-Man game, you can unlock and change out Miles' costume and add mods as well as unlock skills via skill tree. It's not too extensive, but it is there and something worth leveling up and upgrading, as you can also level up your swinging speed, attack damage and all that kind of jazz by doing all of the missions. You can even get the Into the Spider-Verse suit and the ability for Miles to move like he does in the animation, as well as the comic book style hitboxes, which I suppose if they're making a Miles Morales game, they had to include that because, Into the Spider-Verse is a fantastic Spider-Man film. There are light puzzles to do, like I said, moving objects via web and using his bioelectricity to change things, and using your spider sense to find things, to have to overload with your bioelectricity. Nothing too extreme, but there is that there.
Keep working on that one. Barrier's electrified. Ow! And not friendly.
Your suit says that was 300 kilojoules. How is that just ow?
Benefits of bioelectricity, I guess.
Now, the game on PC does unfortunately have some bugs here and there, but nothing game-breaking. There are, however, some really funny ones. If you haven't picked up Miles Morales yet, please do. I cannot recommend it enough, and it further cements my excitement for Spider-Man 2, and I'm calling it now. This is no spoiler for Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I know nothing about Spider-Man 2. I'm a tiny little YouTuber with no friends in the industry whatsoever, so I have no inside knowledge, but I am putting a pound to a dollar to a pinch of shit that Peter Parker is going to die in Spider-Man 2. Leaving Miles Morales as the sole Spider-Man for Spider-Man 3. I'm telling you now, This is what's happening. I'm thinking this is like the Ultimate Universe, where if you don't know about that, Spider-Man, Peter Parker gets, like, you know, outed, and Miles Morales becomes the sole Spider-Man, until obviously the Secret Wars, where they all got smushed into the same 616 universe. But I'm not going to nerd you with that. But there you have it. Spider-Man Miles Morales is more of the same from the first Spider-Man game. Yes, it's more of a DLC. It's not as long as the first Spider-Man game, but trust me when I say it feels more than just DLC. There is tons and tons of side activities to do in this game, and crimes to fight, and the way Miles moves, fight swings, like I've said, it does feel different. And his character, the growth he has in this game, where he's learning to come into his own, really is worth playing for it alone. But thank you very much for watching.
Let's get out of here, Spider-Man.
Hey man, power restored, bank heist stopped, Spider-Man the cat saved.
All in a day's great work. I'm posting in the FNSM app about